Hello there, everybody. My name is Aetheric, and welcome to What If Deku Was a Keyblade Wielder. As my first What If, I thought it would be cool to do this. So basically, how this is going to work is Deku's going to be a Keyblade Wielder, and he's going to have some stuffs. So let's get into the story. So our story begins with a very small, green-haired boy who is obsessed with heroes. Everyone knows him as Deku or Izuku Midoriya. So he goes to the quirk doctor, and when he gets there, they analyze his quirk. And after all the tests are finished, they say his quirk is Keyblade Wielder. Pretty much what he can do is he can summon a sword called a Keyblade. And they say, oh, yeah, that's really all his quirk is. But with his specific blade, he can summon multiple of them, up to 13. His Keyblade is no name. Xehanort's Keyblade. Because I just like the way it looks. He can summon 13 of them because Organization 13. Because why not? So Deku's mother, Inko, asks, alright, how strong is his quirk? They're like, it's not insanely strong, but it could be somewhat strong. So they're like, oh. And Deku doesn't really understand how strong his quirk is. So he turns to his mother and asks, can I be a hero, Mom? Is it possible? Inko looks at Deku and is like, I don't know. Maybe. Deku just is there confused because he doesn't know what to do. So when they get back, Deku's still confused on whether or not he can be a hero or not. And Inko is, I don't know. She's doing whatever. So the next day, we're going to time skip to the very next day to where Deku is at school. Deku meets up with his friend, who is an ash blonde kid with red eyes. His name is Bakugo Katsuki, if you didn't guess already. And Deku is like, hi Bakugo, because in this one he isn't as friendly with other people. He's just a little less nice. He's like, hi, Katsuki, because they're on a first name basis. And Bakugo outright says, hey, Deku, what's your quirk? But he doesn't call him Deku. He calls him Izuku. So he's like, hey, Izuku, what is your quirk? He's like, oh, it's called Keyblade Wielder. I can summon these swords called a Keyblade. I can summon up to 13 of them, but I have to train to that point. They're like, oh, Bakugo's like, alright, cool, I guess. Doesn't sound too strong. And Izuku just sits there looking at the ground like, yeah, I know. And that's the day when the bullying begins. Bakugo and Deku aren't friends because Deku has a weak quirk. But later on, he's going to get a lot stronger. So Deku gets bullied daily, right? And sometimes when it's a bit physical and Bakugo is throwing explosions at Deku, Deku will take the beating and not hit anyone else because he's a bit shy. And pretty much what he does after every beating, something just clicks and scares everyone off. The affected burn area from Bakugo's explosions will turn pitch black and will be covered in a dark substance, which terrifies everybody because they just think his quirk is a sword, so they don't know what that is. So they get very scared of it and they run away. Or when they're yelling at him and calling him useless for having a weak quirk, sometimes he'll speak up for himself, and his eyes will turn a vibrant yellowish orange color, which also scares them off because his quirk is Keyblade. He shouldn't be able to do more than just summon a Keyblade. Pretty much, they do that, and we're gonna skip to the end of middle school when Deku is, and we're just gonna say throughout all the years of bullying, Deku is a lot colder to people. He doesn't give people reactions. He's just the quiet kid in the back of the classroom. But yeah, the paper scene happens. Bakugo still tells Deku to take a swan dive off the roof of the building, but here's where stuff changes. So, it's important from what I'm about to say, but from all the training Deku has done, Deku can summon up to 3 Keyblades, right? Deku can summon 3 no-names. So, Bakugo tells Deku to take a swan dive off the roof after the paper scene happens. And it's revealed that Deku still wants to go to UA. So, Deku walks up to the window, opens it, stands on the window, jumps, and then does a backflip. Everyone is terrified because he just jumped. So everyone comes running to him. He's like, is he okay? And they see he's just flying away on his Keyblade. Right? So everyone looks at him and is like, that motherfucker. He what? Everyone is confused. But that's the end of the school year. And the 10 months of training art stuff happens. Wait, nope, not yet. I forgot to do the sludge villain. Sludge villain happens. Also, for plot's sake, Deku has taken, like, swordsman classes. He can like, make his Keyblades levitate and spin. He can also spin like Levi. For reasons. But Deku is training. Wait, no, not yet. I forgot again. So Deku's walking home because he's left the vicinity of the school grounds. So he's going home, and the sludge villain happens. And when the sludge villain managed to wrap himself around Deku, Deku starts spinning like Levi does, and he summons 3 no-names. Right? He's trying to get the sludge villain off by spinning. It's not working very well. So Deku is being suffocated, and then All Might shows up. All Might throws his Detroit Smash, knocking the sludge villain and splattering the sludge villain across all the walls. He scoops him up, and Deku's like, oh, All Might, because he's low on oxygen. He's lightheaded. So he doesn't know that that's All Might. For a split second, he's like, wait, All Might? Oh. And he immediately snaps back to reality. He's like, oh, wow, that's All Might. So he starts fanboying and asks All Might to sign his notebook. All Might does, and that happens. And Deku still asks, hey, All Might, is it possible for me to be a hero with my quirk? All it is I can summon swords. And All Might's like, it's completely possible. You're just going to need to work very, very hard. And Deku takes this and it's like, alright, cool, I can do it. And All Might jumps off. Deku doesn't grab onto his leg, but All Might still drops the sludge villain. Sludge villain gets out. And Deku and All Might both hear the explosion at the exact same time. Like, oh, what is that? So they go rushing over. And here's what's about to be funny. All Might and Deku get to the thing. Mind you, Deku hasn't seen Small Might form yet. So, pretty much what happens is Deku sees Bakugo being, suffocated. And Deku runs over. He's like, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh yeah, that boy is being suffocated. And Deku's like, why aren't the heroes doing anything to help? And the civilian that he talked to in canon is like, they can't. None of their quirks do anything. He's like, what? So he, is pushing through the crowd. Everyone's like, what are you doing? And that fire hydrant hero guy, that fireman hero, he's like, kid, you can't go through here. And Deku's purely moving on instinct to save Bakugo. He's like, get out of my way. You guys aren't doing anything. He's like, that's no way to talk to a pro hero. And boom, he gets clocked in the face and knocked the fuck out. And everyone sees this. He's like, he just knocked that fucker out. And he starts booking it towards the sludge villain. He tries to summon 2 of his keyblades. It just, instead of summoning 2 keyblades, a giant red flash happens. Deku's clothes change into something like none of these, none of these, none of these. No, I'm being an idiot. This. He changes into Valor form. And what happens is he gets into Valor form and he summons the Guardian Soul and the Way to Dawn. So basically, after he's done that, he is booking it to the sludge villain, and he's spinning like a Beyblade. Everyone sees this. The sludge villain is getting like cut to pieces, but it isn't actually hurting him all that much. The sludge villain can definitely feel this. And after Deku's done spinning, and after Deku is finished treating the sludge villain like Levi did the Beast Titan, he grabs Levi with the back of the Way to Dawn, the one with the angel wing. He grabs him like that, and he throws him to the civilians and other stuff. He is caught by 2 pro heroes, because Deku threw him with that much force. Deku is still in Valor form and is still moving purely on instinct. So he raises his sword, right, and he swings it downwards. No one knows what happened, but then they see a giant purple ball trailing his sword. And for those who don't know what this is the gravity spell from Kingdom Hearts, because I'm mad that they took it out. Also, he will get stop and other stuff. So, he uses gravity. He hits him with the little planetary devastation type thing. And everyone is shocked. Like, how many quests does this kid have? This kid just transformed. He's spinning with 2 swords. And he just used a planetary devastation. But they don't know what a planetary devastation is. He just got hit with the purple ball. What else can this kid do? And the sludge villain is splattered across like this giant crater, right? Deku with the Guardian Soul, right? He points it at what's left of the sludge villain, because the sludge villain is still there. And he charges up a massive fireball. And he fires the fireball, completely evaporating like 90% of the sludge villain. After that, All Might's like, good job, kid. I'll take it from here. And Deku is like, yeah, cool. And he falls face first. Passed the fuck out. Deku tired and stuff. And he wakes up like 15 minutes later. Everyone is crowding him. He's like, hey, what's your quirk? And Deku's like, tired. Going home. I didn't want to do this today. I was tired. I did things. I went to school. I got told to kill myself today. I'm going home. So he summons No Name, and he uses it as a skateboard, hoverboard thing, and he goes home. The All Might scene and stuff still happens. Bakugo is still, oh, you damn nerd, I didn't need your fucking help. And Deku's like, sure you did. You totally had it all on your own. And Bakugo is pissed because he's being mocked by Deku. He's like, fuck off, you damn nerd. And he storms off. And then All Might turns a corner and then deflates. And he's like, hello, young man. And he just deflates, coughing up a metric fuck ton of blood. Right? All Might, and Deku is like, holy shit, are you good? Are you good, bro? All Might's like, yeah, I'm good. And he's like, I want you to inherit my quirk. I saw you move to help that kid when no one else was. He's like, I only moved to help him because there was no one else doing it. I'm tired of people being fucking incompetent. And though I hate that kid with a burning fucking passion, I still helped him. And all my take, that's why young man, I would like to tell you something. I'd want you to inherit my quirk. Deku is confuzzled as fuck. And he's like, what? How? That doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. How does one inherit a quirk? And all Might's like, oh, you just need to ingest some of my DNA. He's like, huh? And All Might's like, yeah, I know. It sounds weird. But before you can inherit my quirk, you need to do some more physical training. It was like, oh, cool. I already do that, like, regularly. He's like, oh, really? Cool. So 10 months of training happens, and Deku is still pretty much at the form where he needs to be able to inherit One For All. So Deku gets One For All like 3 months, or gets One For All 5 months earlier. So he has time to develop full Cowling and stuff like that. But yeah, he only really uses 100% when he isn't really thinking clearly. Right? So Deku is doing Deku. And during these 10 months of training, Deku can summon up to 7 no-names. 7 of them. And that's all he can summon for now, until he spends some more time at UA. But yeah, Deku is training hard. And UA entrance exam time. Yay! Alright. So, shit happens. Deku doesn't trip because he's hyper-focused. He's not excited. He's like, I'm going to get in. Fuck these people. I'm going to get in. So, Deku is doing Deku. He gets through. He aces the written exam. And time for the practical, because I don't feel like going over the written exam. Deku gets like 98%, because why the fuck not? He's smart. He big brain. So, pretty much what he is doing is Deku goes to his ground, and he's just already at the front, because he's not fucking around. So Ida, his conversation with Ida doesn't happen at all. He doesn't even know who the fuck Ida is. Right? So Deku is being Deku. And the gates open. Deku doesn't run just yet, but he's getting ready to. He summons all 7 of his no-names. He's holding 2 in his hand, and there are 5 circling his back. He uses the 5 circling his back to guard and the 2 in his hands to attack. And also, let's just say for shits and giggles, he's managed to pick up the regular fire spell. Not Fira, not Firaga, not Firaza. No, just regular fire. And he's going. And he is just going. And let's just say, by the time the 0-pointer shows up, he's got like 80 points. Everyone hears a 0-pointer, and everyone starts fucking booking it the opposite direction. And Deku is like, oh, damn. I don't want to fight that thing. Seems completely pointless. But then he hears a scream for help. And he's like, oh, fuck. I don't like it when people die. I don't want people to die. So he uses One For All 100% because he's not thinking clearly. And he only uses it in, like, the main big toe bone. Not the big toe itself, but, like, that bone in the foot that's, like, connected to the big toe. Yeah, he uses it primarily there, and he shatters that bone. But that black substance from earlier coats it. Right, healing it almost instantly. And Deku gets to the thing. He's like, oh shit, that thing is massive. I underestimated how large this thing was. And that same instinct of what had happened when he went to go save Bakugo happens again. He enters Valor form, and he goes, and he is fighting. Right? He goes, and then he activates One for All, 100%. He jumps at like metric fuck tons of speed, and he's got both Guardian Soul and the Weighted Dawn still. So he's tunneling through the thing. Every time he makes a hole through the 0 pointer, he flips around midair and uses One for All 100% to jump back through the thing while coring through it. By the end of it, the 0 pointer looks like Swiss cheese, and Deku gets out of there. Mind you, he's been using his legs with One for All 100% the entire time. That black substance hasn't had enough time to fully heal his legs. So when Deku lands on the ground, he's not fully healed, and he goes to help that girl who's trapped under the rubble. She can hear his bones crunching with every step. She can hear them breaking and then reforming. Mind you, since his shins are exposed, she can see the black substance on him. She's like, oh, that's just something that's really cool. And Deku moves the rubble that's on this girl. And Deku looks down and is like, hey, what's your name? And the girl says her name. She says, oh, I'm Mina Ashido. She's like, cool, I'm Izuku Midoriya. You good? And Mina's like, no, I think I messed up my ankle pretty bad. So Deku outright picks her up, slinging her over his shoulder, and is walking to Recovery Girl. Mind you, everyone can hear his shins breaking and then healing over and over again. And he's still in Valor form, so he's getting tired. He's also not using One for All no more, but he's still kind of tired. So he's like, I'm a fucking idiot. And pretty much, I need to stitch that together. But pretty much what happens is after Deku falls asleep, that dark substance finally gets time to heal him. And he is just moving, right? He's getting ready, and everyone's like, oh shit, he healed himself. And that's cool. But what was that other form? So Deku wakes up like an hour later, and he walks home. And he was just tired. He didn't have any broken bones. That black substance healed it all. So Deku goes home, and right before he's able to go, the pink-skinned girl says, thank you. I hope to see you in class. So he walks off, and he goes home. A week later, he gets accepted. He's like, cool, I got in. I like this. And I'm going to end this off at the heroes versus villains, because after I finish that, yeah, that's where I'm going to finish it. But pretty much what happens is Deku goes, wait, when did this shit cut off? Well, pretty much what happens, because I don't know when my phone cut off. Basically what happens is Deku tunnels through the 0 pointer. He helps Mina out of the rubble while his shins are being broken and reformed as they're talking, and everyone can hear it. But yeah, time skip to when Deku gets in. He finds 1A relatively quickly because he's fast. He's kind of fast, so he's just traveling. And he gets to 1A. He's like, all right, cool, I'm here. I'm going to take a quick nap. So Deku takes a quick nap. And all of a sudden, not Ida. Well, yeah, it is Ida. But a blue-haired boy comes up to him. And he's like, should you really be sleeping? Deku's like, Who the fuck are you? I don't know who you are. Can you leave me alone? I'm trying to take a nap, bro. I'm tired. And he's like, no, you have to wake up. We're in school now. Deku gives him a dumbfounded look. Like, bruh, our teacher wasn't even here yet. And that's when this pink-skinned girl walks through the door, and she's like, oh, hi. Looking at Izuku, while she's looking at Izuku. So she comes rushing over, and she's like, oh, yeah, thanks for saving me. Blah, blah, blah. And shit happens, and Aizawa walks in. Deku's still, talking to people, trying to socialize. He's just not that good at it, because he's never really had friends. Everyone who was friends with him was lying to him. And he figured that out. So Deku didn't have friends. He's not that good at socialization. But he's trying. When Bakugo walks in, Bakugo is pissed. And Bakugo's like, how the fuck did you get in? And how the hell did you score above me? Deku looks at him like, because I'm cool like that, bro. But Aizawa walks in, he's like, if you're here to make friends, get the fuck up and leave. No one wants you here. We're here to be heroes, not make friends. So, shit happens. The tests go as canon, except Deku is doing fucking amazing. Deku is just outright throwing things. And when it comes to the weight thing, Deku is pretty much God's hero in everything. The only one he didn't get first place in was the ball throw, because Uraga still exists. Right? And pretty much what happens is... Fuck the hiccups, man. That stuff still happens, and Deku, he gets first place in the entire exam. Yeah. So, they go through classes like normal, and they get let out after the test, because, cool, we did the things. Then, they go home. We're going to time skip to the heroes versus villains, because that's when stuff gets fun. That's when stuff gets really fun, actually. So, the teams are pretty much as canon, except Mina is on Deku's team. And stuff goes pretty much as canon. Bakugo still, wants to fucking obliterate Deku for getting in and ranking higher than he did. And, Deku's going, and Deku's what, fuck, I forgot to, okay, I skipped a whole lot of shit there. I'm an idiot. But pretty much what happens is, the heroes versus villains is getting ready to happen, but then All Might comes busting through the door, and he's like, hello, everyone. Deku looks at him Deku looks at him really nonchalant, and is like, hi, All Might, how you doing? And All Might's like, hello there, young man, nice to see you again. And everyone just looks at Deku and is like, you know fucking All Might? That's so cool. And Deku looks at them and he's like, yeah, I trained with him. But, yeah, that happens. Deku's doing all this training. Not training, no more. But, All Might's like, well, now that I'm here, we're going to do this exercise. It's combat exercise. And we're going to go see, and since you guys are all here now, the clothes make the pros, and All Might pushes a button on this little remote, and the bricks turn into cases filled with their hero costumes. Deku's hero costume is pretty much what Sora is wearing in Kingdom Hearts 2. And pretty much what happens is Deku goes, he gets changed damn near immediately. He's like, cool. And the teams are announced. So it's Deku and Mina versus Bakugo and Ida. So they do their thing. they go and do their thing. And they pretty much... Wait, no, never mind. Never fucking mind. So, wait. Okay, so they're getting ready. They're strategizing. And, okay, don't do that. They're strategizing. And they're being big brain, kind of. Like, alright, I'll go first. I've been dealing with Bakugo for a while. So, they go, and Bakugo comes rushing at them with fuck tons of explosions. Deku is blocking all of them, which is pissing Bakugo off a lot. And Deku's like, oh wow, this is going to be so easy. I don't even need all 7. And Deku is currently curb stomping Bakugo. Well, not completely. It's kind of an actual fight, except Deku's winning. And so the fight goes, Mina goes on ahead, trying to look for Ida. And, not Ida, but the bomb. And they go, and Bakugo is getting ready to do this thing. Bakugo's getting ready to release the, explosion from his gauntlets. And Deku's like, oh, fuck, what does that do? All Might comes over the intercom, is like, hey, Bakugo, you can't do that. He'll die. Bakugo says, oh, he won't die unless he dodges. And let's just say the hallway is too narrow for him to dodge it. So, Deku Deku has to block. And let's just say, for some reason, he can't, and let's just say for plot reasons, Deku's, too fucking tired to summon any more keyblades. So he has to, tank this fucking hit. So he crosses his arms in an X form to try and, so his arms can, soak up most of the blast. And Bakugo releases it, and he sees that Deku took the hit head on. Deku is no. Deku's bones are shattered. Some of Deku's bones are broken. There's burns all over his body. There are no cuts and, bloody spots, because any spot that was bleeding was immediately cauterized. So, everyone sees this. Everyone sees that Deku's burned and has several broken spots on his body. But that all changes. Deku looks up at Bakugo with a vibrant yellow eye. And Bakugo's like, oh shit, I remember this. As this dark substance begin to... fuck. Words are difficult. As Deku is coated with this dark black substance on his body, right? And Deku just begins to give him a little chuckle. Just a little baby chuckle. And we're going to go cut. If you don't know what's going on, this is kind of what's going on. Deku looks something like this. Deku looks like this, and Bakugo's like, oh shit. Oh shit. And Deku gets down on pretty much all fours, and he blitzes Bakugo. He is beating the ever-loving shit out of Bakugo. Bakugo is being fucked up beyond repair, right? He is bloodied. He is having his bones shattered with damn near every punch. And in this form, currently, he can't really control it, and he can't summon a keyblade. Because if he could summon a keyblade, Bakugo would already be dead. And everyone saw this happen. It's like, oh shit, is that Deku? So All Might goes down. It's like, oh shit, I need to stop him. Maybe if I go down there, I can stop him. And let's just say Mina wasn't able to get that far, and she saw the explosion happen, and she saw him get turned into this dark form, which we know is rage form, anti-form, or fucking heartless form, I guess, or rage form, whatever. But Deku transforms, and he is beating the ever-loving shit out of Bakugo. All Might has to come down, trying to stop him, right? But Deku and All Might are throwing hands, and All Might is fucking losing. All Might is losing, right? And Deku is currently beating the ever-loving shit out of All Might. He is beating him so fucking bad where it's not even funny. Right? And they're like, oh shit, get Aizawa. They need to cancel his fucking quirk. So they get Aizawa and they're like, and Aizawa's like, what the fuck is going on? And then when he says what is going on, there's a little tremor and they're like, oh shit. Is that one of my students? They're like, yeah, stop him. Why isn't All Might doing anything? Because he's currently fighting him and losing. Cancel his quirk. So Aizawa books it to All Might and where the tremors are coming from. And he sees this black, dark figure beating the ever-loving shit out of All Might. And he's like, he uses his quirk, and so let's just say they're both on the ground. All Might is fucking asleep, damn near dead. And Deku is there. And when Aizawa uses his quirk, fucking Deku, this dark material fades off of Deku as he just stands there, fucking asleep. And then he falls on his face, asleep. Knocked the fuck out. He's tired. Everyone's terrified. Because there are like 3 sets of people. They're like, that wasn't Deku, that was a villain. That was a fucking villain. Is he a villain? Then you got the people who are like, what the fuck was that? That was really cool. And then you got the people who are like, oh shit, are they okay? Deku took that blast. All Might got the shit kicked out of him. Bakugo got the shit kicked out of him. Are they okay? But for the most part, most people are on the side of, are okay, are they good? Are they okay? And I guess that's where I'm going to end it today. I'll see everybody eventually. Hopefully I won't take too long to upload the next what if and or video. Well, I'll see everybody later. Bye-bye.